Good morning, traders. So how do we trade the DAX today? So a couple of things happened yesterday. So the day before we had this pin bar, a lot of indecision, and then we've had this confirmation bar. Now, this confirmation bar could also turn out to be an exhaustion bar, so just bear that in mind. The DAX has had a fair hammering, and this level of 11,675 is a fairly crucial level, okay? And I can probably just add another one in here just to pick up this inside tail here because it'll interact with a number more of tails, and that is pretty much 11,724. Okay, so that's on the daily. It is looking, we've got a crossover at the moment. We haven't broken through any significant levels, so proceeding with a little bit of caution here. What we do have setting up here is a head and shoulders. You see there is the shoulder, here is the head, here is the right shoulder. Okay, the stochastics are pretty much in no man's land. They haven't grouped all to the top yet. And also the momentum index is also pretty much nowhere. So there's nothing to indicate that we are getting tired, that there is a potential sell-off coming. But I think for any trade that you're taking to the long side, this is the line in the sand to the downside. So long as we don't break 11,434, this has the potential to break out. Okay, let's just get down to the hour, and you can see we had a pretty strong rally in the morning, and I got some of this rally in the morning, but then got stopped out with this deep pullback. So what you're looking for at the moment is, I won't say something the same, but you look for some form of consolidation. And again, you can see how this first hour of trading, if I put two lines in there, you'll see, not that one. You'll see there was the first hour of trading, and there are so many retail traders that trade the open range breakout. So they see that as their range. So they go long on the break, and then they take profit over there. And you can see pretty much what happened until the institutions got back in and drove it up with the US market. And the other thing that you can see here is you can see how it's been rallying, deep pullback, rallying, deep pullback. So this was the last pullback here, this red candle. So if we do that, you'll see that that's exactly where we closed on this measured move. So it was the first move up, pullback, second move up. Classic price action. Okay, so clear the noise out. So again, this is kind of, I would trade the same kind of thing again. Sometimes the open range carries on running a lot further than what it did, or does a gentle pullback just to come back and test the range here. Okay, but 9 times out of 10, if you're going to leave this over the day, your stop is below the low of the day, and it's normally protected. Okay, and you'll see here as well that the range, the pullback into the range, pretty much between the 50 and hit the 61.8 before the buyer stepped in. Okay, so what I like to do if I've got time during the day is trade the open range, take profit at the height of the range, wait for this pullback, and I'll often just leave a trade in at the 50% of the range with a stop below here, and then get in for the second move. It doesn't always play out, but it's always good to leave a trade in, especially if you're running around, because it would be a pretty good entry. Okay, so my advice today is look for the same kind of setup. So you're looking for that 10 o'clock, when are we open? We're opening at 9. So 9 to 10 is the candle that you're looking to watch, and a break above or below that is going to dictate. just bear in mind, if we do break below that first hour candle, you'll have a range, more than likely a range height trade to the downside, but that is going to be a great area to get in long. Okay, if you look on the half hour, you can see stochastics are grouping. So I would expect some kind of sideways motion, maybe another pullback, a bit of consolidation. But just bear in mind that the US markets did rally like 2% yesterday. So I think the Nasdaq must have been a bit more than that. Yeah, Nasdaq was up 3%, whereas the S&P and the Dow were up 2%. Okay, and futures on the DAX at the moment is flat, 11,645. Right, so that's kind of set up for the DAX, long and strong as far as I'm concerned. Look for entries to buy in on the dips, and you can actually start looking at this as a swing trade setup, but we're going to look at that now on the ichimoku. Okay, so ichimoku is, let's start with the daily, see where we are. Okay, so we are still very much in neutral territory. Okay, the reason I say that, if you look on the daily, we are in between Kijinsen and Tikinson, and when we're between Kijinsen and Tikinson like this, we are in neutral territory. Normally it indicates ranging. Okay, just get rid of the noise up there. Oops. Right, so there it is there, and those are the two levels. Okay, so those are levels to watch on the daily at the moment. We are heading into overbought territory, and normally what happens when you hit this Kijinsen, you normally bounce and bounce and bounce on the lower time frames until you get through it. So that is the area that I'd be watching on the daily. Okay, and you can see how we have a potential shoulder, potential head, and then you want it to rally up a bit and then come down to form the next shoulder. So let's just drill down quickly. Now you'll see how the significance of the daily Kijinsen and Tikinson starts to take effect. So you can see on the 4 hour, we have a bearish cross here. We rallied, and we're about to get a bullish crossover. Now, this bullish crossover here, with the fact that Tikinson is through the cloud and the cloud is green, this is starting to point to the fact that we are heading up. So we've broken the cloud, we've come back, the retest of the cloud has been successful. Okay, so for me, I'm only looking for longs. I'm not looking for anything else right now, and any pullback will be an opportunity to get in. And from now on the DAX particularly, is I'll be looking to keep at least a portion of my trade in as a swing trade, take some profit on a few of them because I'm still a little bit uncertain, but at least a third of my trade to keep it in for a swing trade. So every entry I do, I will take some profit out of it and leave the balance, and you'll gradually build that account up. Okay, looking at the 1 hour, you can see the whole of yesterday was pretty much a flat Kijinsen, so there wasn't really anything to write home about, except for the fact this pullback, you could see the minute we were dropping down here, okay, and coming back to the edge of the cloud and Kijinsen, there was an opportunity to get long. Okay, and the other thing that you'll notice is, if I just do a level on Kijinsen here, you'll see there's a lot of tails that are interacting with that level. So just looking at the hour, you could have seen that you had this break out through the cloud. You could have taken some of it, but the anticipation of it coming back to the cloud was there. You've got a fairly high chance of it happening, which is exactly what happened. And if you are sitting long from here, I wouldn't be worried about it. I'd probably just protect my capital, move my stop up ever so slightly. And the way I do that is take the half hour and just move my stop up to, use this line here, to sort of below Kijinsen here. Okay, so all the lower time frames are overbought at the moment. So there is a bit of a worry that we're going to have another pullback, and it is possible. And I think the pullback should probably happen from 11,695 or 11,700. How far that pullback will be, difficult to say. It may be just 1 or 2 bars, or it could be a bit deeper like it was yesterday, where it just meandered down all the way through the morning before picking up. So this is really just fueled by the US market. I don't think investor sentiment in Germany right now is very strong. Okay, there's a lot of political noise there, and there's a lot of companies that have a few problems. Okay, so anyway, that's my view on the DAX. It is setting up for some nice long swing trades, so the buyers are starting to appear. So it would be a good idea to follow and trade with them, and just keep those stops tight and pay attention to your price action. If you look at this on the half hour, you look at this pullback, you can see all the indecision with all these tails. Okay, I refer to that as barbed wire. So it looks, sort of it looks like barbed wire, like twisted and tails up and down. But you can see how we come to different levels, bounce off them, and fall back even further, and up again we go. And again, just drilling down to 15 or 12 minutes, you sometimes get a bit of a better picture, and you can see how the 200 EMA on the 12 was the area that you needed to look at. Okay, but for me, I prefer looking at the half hour, and then this indecision bar, a break either side of this would have given me direction. Okay, so yep, that's it for me today. Looking for longs, but not at the level we're at now. I want a bit of a pullback. It may still rally a bit up to this level, and then I expect it to just sort of meander down ever so slightly, and then it may rally. But I'm just looking for that pullback, whether it's 1 bar, 2 bars, or 4 or 5 bars. Doesn't really matter in my eyes, so long as we get some kind of a pullback. Okay. So anyway, guys, that's my view on the DAX. I hope it helps, and I'll catch up with you later. Cheers for now.